Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to my Satisfactory playthrough. So yeah, I have been busy. I started working on building my next space elevator part. So my entire like railway setup is done. So I have a railway setup which is basically going to the entirety of my left side of the world. So let me just okay. Yeah, this looks nice. So yeah, so I have trains now going all the way to the central region and all the way to the left side. So yeah, so there are various nodes which I'm already pulling resources from. I think we can see here like I'm pulling resources from lots of nodes. There are still like a couple of nodes which are left out which I'm not using, but mostly I'm using the left side part of the map right now. So yeah, with that, so that was completed like last week. So that was a quick recap. So with that, I wanted to work on my next space elevator part. So this one, all the factories over here, is like the first space elevator part, which is like the assembly director system, I think. Where is it? Yes, this one. So the assembly director system was the first thing. This was extremely, I did not think it would be so complex. I thought this is the easiest space elevator part. But then I started working on the next space elevator part, which is this one, magnetic field generator. Now, I thought because I had unlocked this later, like this comes later in this recipe list, this would be more complex, but I was totally wrong. The magnetic field generator is so easy. I think it's the easiest one to make, depending on how less complex it was. But basically, this is all it is. Like like it's probably like 1/4 the size of the assembly director system. So it's so small. But yeah, but that's the magnetic field generator. So I was able to put that up extremely quickly because I had blueprints for most of the things. But the main thing which took up a lot of time was basically to bring coal. I had not put railway setup to bring in coal. Like I had some empty station setup where I had sort of planned where the coal would come in. But yeah, so that took actually more time than actually building this factory. So let me quickly go through this factory. So first, in this recipe, the magnetic field generator, there is only one recipe. There are no alternative recipes. So that solves the problem. There is no more decision making to do over here. So I just took this, and it's a good ratio. Like I wanted one magnetic field generator at the end, one per minute, and I already am getting it. So that's good. That's pretty good. Then is 2.5 versatile framework and one electromagnetic control rod. So that is basically being made over here. So here, so this is the final output. So this is making one magnetic field generator, and over here there are two assemblers. So the first assembler is making versatile framework. The second one is making electromagnetic control rods. So this is making at 1 per minute. This is making 2.5, which is what this one needs. So to make one magnetic field generator. So this one is using the recipe of modular frames and steel beams. And this one is using the recipe of stators and AI limiters. Now, the versatile framework. This one has two recipes. And the second recipe uses rubber. For me, rubber is not a big issue. I'm anyway bringing it through trains, so that's totally fine. I was fine with using the second recipe, but I don't need 7.5. All I needed was 2.5. So when I do 2.5, the top one needs 15 steel beams, the bottom one needs 7.5 steel beams. But no matter what, I need steel beam. So if there was a recipe over here which did not use steel beams, then I would have just, no matter the numbers, I would have chosen that. But because both of these recipes uses steel beams, that basically means that there is no advantage that I had for using one over the other. One uses lesser steel beams but uses rubber. The other uses a little bit more steel beams, right? But no matter what, I need to make a steel beam factory. So that was the conclusion out of this. So that's the reason I chose the easier one, which is 15, because even to make steel beam, like if I click on this, it makes 15 per minute. That's the from 60 to 15. That's the basic ratio. And my blueprint makes 180 steel ingots. So I can easily split that by 3 and make 15 steel beams. So for that reason, I chose the easier recipe and I went with it. But had there been a recipe which did not use steel beams, I would have taken that because that would mitigate me having to make steel ingots. So yeah. Next was electromagnetic control rods. So that one is over here. Even this one, there were 2 recipes, but I went with the default recipe. The first is because all I need is like 1 per minute. I don't need more than that. And then this contains high speed connector, and high speed connector needs like Criterium, either quartz or like the wire, and then it needs circuit. Like it's way too complicated. You will use the second recipe if you want to manufacture electromagnetic control rods in huge quantities, then you'll go with second one. But if it's very low amount of electromagnetic control rods that you need, then you'll just go for the first one because it's extremely easy. Stators are easy. All you need is steel pipes and some quick wire or wires, right? That's easy. Or AI limiters. AI limiters is also easy. Anyway, I'm bringing plastics and there is quick wire. Quick wire is common with both of these. So, I mean, at least one of these recipes has it. So I chose that recipe. Basically, I chose a steel pipe and quick wire for stators. And for this one, I think I chose quick wire plus copper sheets because I did not want to use such, I did not want to pull plastic for such a few number, right? So anyway, so those were the recipes I chose and it's working well. This is modular frames and steel beams. So with that being said, I am bringing all of those from here. So this is my first blueprint. So this blueprint takes in Criterium ore, gives me stators. So that is basically over here. The stators blueprint. I already had this blueprint. So this one was 64 iron ore, 36 Criterium ore, 8 stator. I'm sorry, I did not have this blueprint. So I had to make this blueprint. So I actually made 3 different blueprints. One is this AI limiter default, AI limiter alternate recipe, and the stator. So I made 3 recipes this time. The reason being I thought stators and AI limiters, I feel like I'll be using those quite often. So that's the reason I just wanted to go ahead and make a blueprint for those. So I just quickly made this blueprint. So this is a stator blueprint. There is even like these things, label signs over here, so that I don't need to remember those numbers, like what I need. And then this one is the second blueprint, which is the AI limiter. So I made 2 blueprints for AI limiter, both the default recipe and the alternate recipe. AI limiter has only 2 recipes, I think. Yeah, has only 2 recipes, and both of these recipes are good in its own way. So I just wanted to make both of these. So for example, I think this one I reduced it to 3. This one I reduced it to 4 in my blueprint. So what this does is, the first one I can make like counts 1, 3, 9, like these numbers are easy to make with the first one. I can underclock this one to 1/3, or I can just put 1/3 the inputs and I'll get like 1 AI limiter per minute. So if I want that, I can get that. If I want 9 AI limiters per minute, I can just plop 3 of these down. So this is good for those numbers. The second one is good for even number. Like if I want to do 2 AI limiters, 4, 6, 8, then I can just use the second one to get that easily. You can of course underclock it to get 1 per minute, but what happens is these numbers are not good. 15 quickwire is so quickwire is like you'll use very less Criterium ingots, like 3 Criterium ingots, and if you go to 3 Criterium ingots, you basically use like 9 ore, which is very awkward to use. So for that reason I chose 4 as the default number to make the blueprint, and I don't think I'll be using that to make what is this called, AI limiter of 1 per minute. If I need like 1 AI limiter per minute, I'll be using the default recipe, which makes like 3 of these. So for example, this at 100% is like 5. The blueprint that I made is at like 3. This is the blueprint that I made, but then for this recipe, I just underclock it to 1. So easiest thing ever. So yeah, so that's what I did. And also one tip when you are underclocking stuff, like for example, you have made a blueprint over here, something like this, which makes 3 AI limiters per minute. But for your factory that you're building, let's just assume you just need 1 AI limiter per minute. You can still use this recipe or use this blueprint. Like you can just plop this down like that, and you can just put the necessary inputs, right? Like how much ever is necessary for just 1 AI limiter per minute, right? And just underclock this to 1. Now you see it's like 5 and 20. Now, if you just have 5 and 20 at the inputs, that's enough. You don't need to go back over here and underclock this. You don't need to do that. Of course, it looks nice when you get into this smelter, then you'll see 100% efficiency if you do underclock it. But if you don't underclock it, you won't see that 100% efficiency. Sometimes, I mean over here, I have underclocked it. But anyway, so if you don't underclock it, you won't see it. But if you underclock it, you'll see 100% efficiency. So, but no matter what, this will always be working at 100% efficiency, which is what you need, right? So you can use the default recipe and just come to the output and just underclock it, and that's enough. And you will have like 1 per minute blueprint. So you don't necessarily need to make a specific blueprint for that. So yeah. Anyway, so next is this blueprint. What is this? Yes, this is modular frames. So this is this one. So I have 2 blueprints over here. One was 6 and the other was 2. What I did was I just plopped this down, the 2 modular frames, and I just underclocked this. That's it. That is all I did. This is actually 2. I just underclocked it to 1.25 and that is done. So I'm getting 1.25 modular frames per minute, and that is good. And this one is the steel beams. This is where I needed coal. And this one is this recipe. So I'm making 180 steel ingots, but I'm not utilizing, like, this 60 is not being utilized and this 60 is not being utilized. So 120 steel ingots is just sitting there. And I'm hoping that in the future, if I ever need steel beams, because there is this recipe which use only steel beams, right? There is that one recipe. So if there is something like that, like if I go here, I can see it's used in this versatile framework. But apart from that, I don't see that being used anywhere else. But there are 2 recipes which I have absolutely no idea of. So let us assume it'll get used in the future. So I might need it. So that's the reason I have this redundancy in place. If I need it, it's there. If I don't need it, it is there. It is just wasted. That's it. Anyway, so with that, so that was the steel beams. And from here, steel beams are going there. And that's it. The easiest thing ever. The most simple space elevator part in the world. Oh my god. I really thought it would be more complex. But yeah, then I just rotated this. I did not like how it looked before. So now the inputs are over here, and the actual space elevator like configuration, like the what is this called? The screen, the phase screen is over here. Previously, the way to access that screen was from here or here, something like that, which I did not like. Anyway, so here is my assembly director system and magnetic field generator. You know, these are extremely late game space elevator part. I wish it had some animation or something. Maybe, I'm not sure. If they added some animation or something, maybe it would have taken too much CPU power, CPU processing power or something like that. Maybe not. So anyway, it would have been cool for these late game space elevator parts to have some sort of animation. But yeah, so these are over here. I'll just connect these to space elevator when all 4 are ready. These two will be the next space elevator parts, which I'll make those factories over here. But yeah, this is my magnetic field generator. So this is done. Nothing else, and I'm bringing just coal over here. So I just brought coal and I'm pulling coal from that. So I do have coal, lot of coal actually. I think I'm pulling it from 4 pure nodes and 2 impure nodes. So lots of coal is actually coming in here, which is pretty nice. So yeah, so with that, my space elevator part is done. My second space elevator part is done. So with that, let us go ahead and unlock my fourth space elevator part. The reason being, so over here, I have still not yet unlocked this pressure conversion cube and nuclear pasta. It is still pending. So this entire plutonium stuff, I was like, let me not just unlock it, let me just keep it. But now I'm like, let me just go ahead and unlock it. The reason being, wait, what is this called? Pressure conversion nuclear pasta. Oh, I have not yet unlocked. Oh, never mind. So that's the reason I'm not able to see the recipe. But yeah, but I assume like the pressure conversion cube and nuclear pasta has some sort of alternate recipes, and I want to unlock that if I can. And also there are some other things over here like nitric acid, some pellets, etc., and copper powder, which might be part of some alternate recipes. So I really want to unlock those before I go to my next space elevator part. So if I go to my next space elevator part, it is thermal propulsion rocket, and this is extremely complex, right? So this of course does not have any alternate recipes, but if I go to turbo motor, I have one alternate recipe which I have not unlocked. Or does cooling system, I don't think I need anything. So cooling system, and where did it go? Yeah, for this one, cooling system, I already have some really good blueprints for that, so I'm fine with that. Fused modular frames has one alternate recipe, so I'm quite interested to knowing that. So yeah, there is a lot of stuff that I am yet to unlock. So for that reason, this thing will be extremely complex. So before I make this, I do want to unlock the last phase 4, right? This is phase 4. Yeah, this is last of the phase 4 milestones. Let's go. 50 turbo motors, 100, 200, 2500. Nice. It's been so long since I saw this takeoff.
Reached. Project part number 9, nuclear pasta, can be created in the particle accelerator. The accelerator has vast and fluctuating power demands, depending on the recipe, so will need careful integration with your factory. Fix-It does not waste, so nuclear waste can be refined by the particle accelerator into plutonium for reuse in the nuclear power plant. Fun fact: Fix-It psychologists suggest factory designs reflect the minds of their creators in unexpected ways. On an unrelated note, your infrastructural choices have been interesting.
What do you mean? My infrastructure choice is awesome. Chaotic but awesome. Anyway, she told lots of things, interesting things. So the first thing was, she told like nuclear waste can be further refined into plutonium stuff and reused in nuclear thing. But does that mean I won't get any more waste after that? Like if I use plutonium fuel rod in nuclear stuff, nuclear generator, will I not get any waste then? Is that what she said? Maybe. Used as fuel. Produces radioactive plutonium waste. What? Then what am I supposed to do with that? I think there has to be some way of disposing radioactive. plutonium waste, right? Yeah. Anyway, I will figure that out. But she did convey about particle accelerator, like the pressure conversion cube is made in this particle accelerator, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I had this pending from such a long time. I had resources stored here for so long. But yeah, now I can go ahead and start the alternate recipe. Okay, so with that, let us just quickly go through some recipes that we unlocked. Oh my god, lots of different things. Okay, so this one is packaged nitric acid. This is just nitric acid and oh, it uses empty fluid tank. Okay, and then packaged nitric acid. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be doing that. Non-fissile uranium. Oh, this has alternate recipes. Uranium waste is used in. Okay, to make plutonium. Oh, there is one more recipe in which uranium waste is used. Okay, then plutonium pellets. It uses uranium waste. Okay, encased plutonium fuel rod, copper. What? 300 per minute to 50 per minute? You know, I have not been using copper a lot, mainly because I had no idea about the amount of copper I would need for this, but mainly because I kept hearing everyone say copper, like you need so much copper in endgame and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I did not care too much because I won't be making things in a very large scale. So I did not care too much, but also I did not find too much copper nodes like pure or anything close by to my factory over here. So most of the blueprints that I made does not use copper for that very reason. Because for example, if I just click over here, resources, right? There isn't too much copper nodes nearby. And the few copper nodes that I had, I'm using it. So this one is a copper node. All of this is iron. Everything is iron. Where is copper? This is everything is iron. There is one, okay, copper. No, 2 impure copper nodes. So I did not like it. What is this? This is iron. There's 1 copper node which I'm using. So basically I'm using like 2 copper nodes, 3 copper nodes over here. One is pure. What about you? Wait, is this pure? No, this is normal. Normal. There are 3 normal copper nodes near my base. And 2 impure. 2 impure is, I don't count that. But yeah, but when I started the game, because I saw so less copper, most of my recipes, I just removed copper, like completely. And I was just using iron for everything. For that reason, I have abundance of copper. So I don't mind this recipe right now. But yeah, then pressure conversion cube. Oh, here it is. What? It uses fused modular frames and radio control units? Oh my god. Oh, this uses the copper powder. Okay, but technically speaking, nuclear pasta is actually easy. Like making copper powder is extremely easy. All you need is copper, right? And then this one, pressure conversion cube, if you have it, yeah, that's fine. But this is complicated. Oh my god. Pressure conversion cube. You know, now that I think about it, is that really more complicated than this? No. This is more complicated. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, but this is good. Now I have a sense of what to do and how things will look like. But yeah, phase 4 is completely, I have completely unlocked phase 4. And in the next video, one more space elevator part will be completed. And for sure, the next space elevator part is complicated. Like it won't be like this. But yeah, as of today, the 2 space elevator parts are done. Phase 4, all milestones are unlocked. And with that, thank you everyone. See you guys in my next video. Bye.